Ndị be anyị ekene m unu, daalụ ndị na-enu ụmụ Chineke na-ekunu si wee na-esore n'ife anyị na-eme. A sị na adụrụ niile na mma n'ọnụ ga dịka echi na echi ada agwụ ọgwụ. Onye akwa kwuru onye akwa ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Onye anyị dịka o si daa eje gbapụ ya ọsọ igosiri na ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'ụbọchị nke taa. Ịnanya onye gafe niile akwụkwọ bụ ọmadike ndị Igbo Maazị Nnamdi Kanu nwere ife o kwuru. Ọ bụ na ndị Igbo ga n'ihe a o kwuru n'ime akwụkwọ a, ọ bụ na ndị Igbo ga-atọ ntị n'ala wee gee ntị n'ife a onye ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru n'ilu akwụkwọ a bife ejide ya, anyị karị ịmaga ebe anyị ga-anọ na because Maazị Nnamdi Kanu is really a prophet. He's a prophet. I'm telling you the truth. He's a prophet. Gee ntị ka ịnụ ya bụ ife o kwuru. Ị ga-esia ya asa nụrụ si kọrọ nwanne ya, share ya ka ụmụnna anyị ndị ọzọkwa gekwe ya and contribute to their own opinion. All right, over to you, my able leader, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, onye ndu Ọmadike one of Igbo land. Over to you, sir.
People don't know that the Sambisa forest you're hearing today was set up, or they started deforestation of Sambisa to check desert encroachment. Go and check. Almost 40 years ago. I said to the Americans that I met, the policymakers on Capitol Hill, I said to them, so do you agree that this global warming, this climate change started more than 2-3 decades ago? They said yes. I said to them, so how come under the regime of Babangida, Abacha, Shoneko, for the time he was there, I don't know, how many weeks he was there for. The regime of Abdul Salami Abubakar, the regime of Obasanjo, Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan. The effects of this drought did not drive these murderers, Janjaweed, the Fulani headsmen, into the south. How come it is under this present administration? Everybody went quiet. I said, answer me. Did climate change start with you when Buhari was sworn in 2015? The answer is no. So how come it is under his regime that they have brought their cattle down? And he said to me, because there is no road infrastructure. And I said, but who has been in power all this while? It's the same Fulani. They control everything. Do you see how we puncture their lies? I wait for them. They tell all their lies. They go, they have a very powerful lobbying firm in DC, churning out all their lies. One meeting only, 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes. I destroy all their narrative, all their argument. Only 30 minutes. That is why the whole world is now speaking. And as I always say to them, has it ever happened before? The answer is no. Only 2 trips. This thing now happening, now that they're holding the zoo to account, has it ever happened before from America? The answer is no. When did it start happening? After IPOB went to Capitol Hill. And some people question our potency. Watch the zoo on Ravel. Now they can't hide anything. Very soon, the whole Jubril saga will be reopened. You see what will happen. They don't know what I'm waiting for. They know that very soon the whole Jubril saga will be reopened in a grand style, that the world may know that thing Danjuma is afraid to say, that IPOB Nnamdi Kanu will always say it. I will have proof. Although that Nigerians may not understand it, but the world does. They are writing a letter. I am telling the U.S. ambassador, the U.S. State Department, that any group coming out attacking anybody speaking the truth is from DSS. They are the ones funding it. They went and beat up a young man that was campaigning for Shori yesterday. Very sad indeed. It doesn't matter what anybody does. Once justice is at stake, you must rise up and defend those who cannot defend themselves. That is what makes you a Biafran. Don't join animals to mock somebody who is down. Pray for them to repent, as I'm sure they have now started repenting. You must go and fight the good fight. You must go and make sure that our enemies don't derive any pleasure or joy from attacking those who are vulnerable. They went yesterday and they hired thugs, as they always do. You are warning USA to stay off watch list. The zoo is finished. The zoo is finished. One even said that the US is sowing mistrust amongst Nigerians. I don't know why these people can never learn. You are accusing the USA in the 21st century, the year 2019, of sowing mistrust in Nigeria, whereas the Baba of Fulani politics in Nigeria, Ahmadu Bello, was the one that said he will not give a job to an Igbo man. He will give it to a white man rather than give it to an Igbo man. So who was sowing the seeds of mistrust in 1957, 58, 59, 60? The period that Ahmadu Bello was mouthing all those rubbish. So it was USA, it was Donald Trump, yes? When Ahmadu Bello was talking all those nonsense, the father of hate speech, Fulanis are the people that brought hate speech into the politics of the zoo. For those who are joining us for the first time, the zoo is Nigeria, because it was created by the British for their amusement, where black people run around like headless chicken to the amusement of the British establishment. That's why we call it a zoo. It's not a nation, it's not a country, it has no meaning. Nobody, no African created Nigeria. Nigeria was created by a wandering British soldier, they recalled from Hong Kong, to stop the eastern advance of the French forces in West Africa. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. That is how they became accidental Nigerians, and they have a flag, green, white, green, to typify their stupidity. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. When we speak the truth, they wonder, how come this is possible? It is possible because we have come to do the will of God in heaven. Now, those who before, and what is pending me is that after a while, you know, the Fulanis, the British will advise them on what to do, who to bribe and who not to bribe, the newspapers to buy over. Of course, they have channels already. And then they start saying, oh, things are not improving. Can't you see they have now changed? You know, people are so foolish. Oh, they say, therefore, state of the nation, we are in a state of emergency. The same thing I told you in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19. Now, after nearly 8 years, you are recognizing what was said in 2012, that the zoo is a hopeless case and must collapse. Hopeless. Must collapse. They say former Minister of State for Defense and the Ogwa of Warri Kingdom, Chief Ronald Research of 5 is in a sizzling interview in Warri. This from Vanguard. Speaks extensively on some issues. And he spoke about the zoo, that the zoo is an emergency. And they say, let's look at the Niger Delta. Some of you don't know that Abia State, Imo State is also a part of Niger Delta. You are aware of that before. So what they're trying to do is to carve us. So South and Southeast did not do them. Bendel did not work. Midwest did not work. Now they're asking him, let's look at the Niger Delta, as if Niger Delta is a separate area from Biafra. This is the typical British divide and rule. They give you names. Niger Delta, South. Despite the fact that you cannot find South on any geographical cardinal point, it doesn't exist. They conjured up one nonsensical name, South, Niger Delta, to give them. Whereas in the northern part of Nigeria, they are called North. No Niger Delta in the north. No North in the north. They are all North. But when it comes to my land, to the land of Biafra. They divide you, they cut you out. You're from Niger Delta, you're from the South, and you stupidly and ignorantly answer to these useless names. Very foolish. Foolish set of people. He said he's from Nigeria, which includes Imo State. He's in Warri. So people from Naked, they also now related with Warri in that regard. That means, so people now from Imo State who are Niger Delta and Abia. Abia is Niger. I'm also a Niger Delta. I am from Niger Delta. In Anokago. Dear me. Oh dear. Who started all this problem? There is a man called Willings. He's a British man. When the British were about to leave, they were so frightened of the ingenuity of the Biafran people, and in Whitehall in London, they sat down and decided, how do we stop the East? How do we stop the Igbo man from making his cousins feel? How do we stop him? You know what they did? Oh, the British now said, oh, we are so concerned about the plight of the minorities. Not, listen carefully, not the minorities in the north, but the minorities in Biafra land. Not the minorities in the west or middle belt. No, their target was East, Biafra land. How do we divide them? You know, British man is very clever, and knowing how stupid some of our people are, the man quietly introduced what is called the Willings Commission. You know what he was there to do? That he wants to protect the non-Igbos from Igbo domination. A white man. But these same Igbos have been living together with the Shekiris, living together with the rebels, the Sokos, the Efiks, the Bibios for thousands of years. No domination. It's only when the white man came, the white man now realized that, oh, there could be domination, no? They introduced this, I call it the albatross, the Willings Commission. Once they dropped it, it was the end game. You know, this is how when people say Nnamdi Kanu is learned, I laugh at them. If I were to be the leader of our people then, I wouldn't agree to this Willings. I wouldn't agree to it. Azikiwe, you know, anything you can do to give him one Nigeria to be prime minister, he will do it. He allowed Willings Commission. Willings Commission came and sowed the seed of distrust amongst our people till this very day. That's why this journalist interviewing Osejofor is asking him about the Willings Commission, forgetting that Abia and Imo are part of Niger Delta. Maybe one day they'll replace Biafra with the name Niger Delta. What is the meaning of Niger? Nobody knows. Nigger, black, evil, and stupid. That's the meaning of it. People who are not educated, you didn't go to school, you want to come and argue with those who are learned. How will you survive? Ask Zoo. They call us miscreants, but ask them how we destroyed them in Washington, the complete destruction. We hold on to whatever nonsense they're saying and we trash it down. Now they understand who they're dealing with. All our education is not in vain. We went to school for a reason, and now we're deploying it. And it's working, isn't it? Who can say it's not working? US lawmakers have written to Malami over Showore. And all those who are there, we met them. You know, all of them. Talking about Showore. You see the zoo. We told them, see how they are. They've now written. And within less than 24 hours, Malami have said he's going to release Showore and Dasuki. Some of you never knew we're campaigning for Dasuki as well, do you? That is how it goes. That is the way we function. The same way we are campaigning for El Zagzagi, and he too will be freed as well. If you have something against somebody, go to court and prove your case. Not in the middle of the night to come and kidnap somebody and say, we are protecting the sovereignty or integrity of Nigeria. Nigeria. Who built Nigeria? Did you build Nigeria? Nigeria is a British colonial investment. Has nothing to do with you. The fact that you're there controlling the 10% of the prices of the oil doesn't mean that you own it. It's not yours. It is not yours. It is not yours. I said, the world will listen. They must listen to what we are preaching. Because Nigeria is a hopeless case. Anybody who is a Nigerian, anybody who believes in Nigeria, you are either deceiving yourself or you're a hopeless case. You must be. You must be. And at last, the Christian Association of, now they have found their voice. We have done the hard work. That same IPOB they despised. We have gone to America. We have done the hard work in America. And all of a sudden, they're now talking. They're not talking. They're now back the placing of Nigeria on watch list because they're now hiding under USA to say something. When we were saying it before, they said it's hate speech. MAZI NNAMDI KANU wants to break up Nigeria. He wants to sow the seeds of disunity in our polity. He's hitting up the polity. Oyibo. He's hitting up the polity. Today, they have gone round 360 degrees to the position we adopted from day one. They have come round to understand what we are doing. Even the spineless and toothless Christian Association of Nigeria can now speak because of the work IPOB is doing. All those people you're called miscreants, you see? And I love it. I am the number one miscreant, number one. You see? Those miscreants are now showing you the way. Those miscreants that told Tinubu that you are backing up the wrong tree. I told Tinubu you will fail, you will fall, they will use you, they will dump you. Today, it is clear for the whole world to see. They have dumped him. Those miscreants. You know, I know they admire us secretly. Of course, I know they do. They admire us a lot. And they wish they can be like us. But unfortunately, they cannot be because we are Biafrans and they are not. Biafra is a very special race. Special. Special, special race. Special. And that is why Britain hates us. Britain knows that, you know, any man there and Ghana more, they go in the spirit. They received the revelation that Biafra is the light of Africa. And Britain chose it upon itself to make sure that that light will never be lit. Because some people in Britain believe, sometimes they wonder, how do I know all these things? But I do. They believe that should Biafra rise up in Africa, that the world will come to an end. Ask them, they will tell you secretly. That is why they will do anything in this world to stop the emergence of Biafra. But I say to them that I worship Elohim. Let us see who created the universe, if it is God in heaven or man on this very earth. That is why I know that Biafra will come. There is nothing anybody can do about it. It doesn't matter what it doesn't. I'm telling you the truth. Before God and before man, it doesn't matter what they do. It's unstoppable. And they know it. Even the cabal in Asorok, they know Biafra is unstoppable. They know that they have considered that Biafra will come. Who's going to stop us? Nobody can. They have not given birth to those who are going to stop us. They know that very well. Now they have seen a type of stubbornness in Biafra they never knew existed before. They are wondering, oh, but how do we stop them? What do we give them? It's impossible. It is too late. We are Biafrans. Unbribable. Unbuyable. They cannot buy us. No, they know it. The only thing we want is Biafra. The main Christian body in Nigeria, in the zoo, they now agree there is Islamization agenda. The same thing that I used to say. They say it's hate speech. Today they have accepted it. Because we see decades ahead. The same Christians, they have their prophets. They have their prophets. They cannot see. They cannot see. They are all blind. All they see is the tithe. Every week, a tithe, give pay us tithe. That's all they see. They are blind in the spirit. Blind, completely blind. I told
ebe ọma na-ege ntị daalụ nne nụ unu anụgo ife onye ndu MAZI Nnamdi Kanu odogwu nwoke mewuru ife unu anụgo ife ofu gasị n'iru akwụkwọ nke dịka ibia bụ asị onye nọrọ sikọrọ nwanne ya dịka ị nụrụ ya okwu gịnị ka nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na once gị na-echefuna na ya bụ Eastern News 24 bụ ebe si na-ewetara unu ozi a ozi dị oke mkpa daalụ ụmụnne m ngwanụ ka emesịanụ